Good day, everyone, and welcome to the world of the International Fab Talks. Fab Talks is all about connecting with the right kind of people, the people who have the right thought process to connect with one another, to build a beautiful world, not only for themselves, but for others as well. It could be putting their thoughts on pen and paper, putting their thoughts vocally, connecting with the right kind of people across the globe. We'd love to have them share the space here with us on the International Fab Talks. There are several unsung heroes who've done their very best till date, and they are continuing to pursue their ambition of being the best in this world. Let's join together and welcome our celebrity and guest who has had a wonderful journey till date. Let's get to know about her life and how she's been able to manage the ups and downs and face all the difficult situations like we all do, and how she has emerged victorious, rising like a phoenix. After facing all the tough times, we all should rise above all the difficulties and face life, and we become inspirational figures for the younger generation or for just anybody. Now, friends, join me to welcome our celebrity and guest. She's here with us. She's none other than Dwitiya Rahul Sonawane. She's here with us. Let's get to know more about her life and celebrate her journey today on the International Fab Talks. We are very proud about her achievements. She loves to connect with the right kind of people. Her thought process is unique and she is a progressive thinker. Hello, ma'am, and welcome to the session. Thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Crystal, for giving me the opportunity to connect with you and your audience.
Most welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much. In fact, we have to thank you for taking out the time to be here with us on the Fab Talks. Thank you so much. I go ahead and share your profile and we begin the session.
Sure.
Thank you, dear. Dear friends, as you all know, it's our duty to share the profiles of our celebrities and guests. It's a honor as well. Now, today we have with us Dwitiya Rahul Sonawane. She's here with us. She is a publisher. Actually, she belongs to the IT profession. She's been, sharing more than 25 years in the IT sector. She's been giving her expertise over there, and now she runs a publishing company. And she's connected with books. She loves reading. She's a wonderful podcaster as well. Now, how she's able to manage all of this? How is she, into the field of publishing, and how is she connected to books and all of that? We'll get to know what kind of books and what are her thought process, with regard to today's world, and how she's been able to do it all in the right way. Dear ma'am, thank you so much for being here with us. We're really happy to have you here. Now, the first question that I'd like to ask you is about your stint in the IT sector. You've been contributing 25 years in the IT sector. If you'd like to share that journey with us, it would really be nice.
Okay. So I'm a software engineer. I'm a computer science graduate, a postgraduate actually. Post that I joined a company called ETH Limited. It's a company that was into e-learning. So I started my journey there. The domain was e-learning. Then I moved to a company called Unica, and then IBM, and worked on various domains like e-learning, then marketing automation, security, and things like that. So basically, I have experience of development as well as managing the projects, managing global teams and things like that. So I have built multiple products from scratch, SaaS products or web projects. So my journey started as a software engineer. I'm still into IT. I have my own software company. So yeah, that's how it began into IT.
Wow, that's really nice, very interesting. You now even own software company. That's really wonderful, ma'am. You've emerged like from just as a starter to becoming an entrepreneur now, and I think you are able to even give employment to others as well under your company terms and conditions. Is it?
Yes. Yeah, it's just a beginning for me. It's a new the company started 2-3 years back, but it's just a beginning right now. But yeah, that's where it is right now.
Yes, dear. That's really nice. I mean, once you start, and then it keeps going forward and to the next level. Now, ma'am, we know that you're an avid reader. You love books. We'd love to know that from when did you have this wonderful interest or your association with books? Of course, as students, we do have it, but apart
Yeah.
from that, you're connected with publishing and you have your publishing firm as well. So how did this journey begin?
Yeah, actually, my father is a publisher. He has a publishing house in a regional language. It's a Marathi publishing house called Prafullata Prakashan. So the books, authors, and that culture has always been there in my family. I used to love reading even when I was a student till my school life, college life. Post that, when I got into IT, it all stopped because of the work timings, and then the life takes over and things like that. So I couldn't really, I mean, there was a gap. Okay. But then when I stopped my job and started my own company, I had a lot of time. I had to experiment. That's when I reconnected back to reading, and I really started enjoying reading and publishing and things like that.
Yes, dear. That's really nice, ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now, many of the people out there would love to know about your early childhood. What kind of a child was Dwitiya? Like, were you the happy-go-lucky child, or you were a very shy one, obedient, mischievous? What were you?
I was a shy person. I was a shy child. I was also obedient child. It's changed later when I grew up and got into my work. But it was a very happy childhood. I used to play sport and I enjoyed that. I used to study. I used to love my studies. I took them very seriously. But it's a very happy memory of my childhood. I had a very safe and good childhood. My parents are both my mother is no more, but both of them were teachers. Yeah.
That's really nice. I mean, you say that you had a wonderful childhood. That's really nice. You're lucky. There are several children out there like who are underprivileged and they don't have that access to, even receiving the pure love from their parents. So that's
Correct.
really nice.
I had
And
a very safe childhood. Though I grew up in a village, but it was a very happy, safe environment that I grew up in.
yes, that's really nice. Thank you so much for sharing. Now, ma'am, what I'd like you to share now is any experience that you had during your childhood, you know, that has made you think that, yeah, this is life. I understand life now. Because as children, we are very playful and we are all the time like connected with our own thoughts. We actually don't know the reality of this world. So when was that time that you really understood that this is life? Life is not going to be easy. It is a mixture of happiness and sadness.
It didn't really happen for me in childhood. It was only in college when I came to a city from a village. That's when things started hitting me, like a big college, different culture, different people who were speaking a different language. So that was a major cultural shift. I also saw very rich life in a city versus what I had seen in a village. So that's where it hit me that, this is totally different from what I have grown up in. So that's when it really hit me. But thankfully, there are no such memories from childhood. It was only when I came here in Pune for my 11th standard and I went to my college, that's when I realized that life is much more than what I have lived.
Oh, wow. That's really nice. That's really nice for sharing that with us. And, it's a message for everyone out there. At one point of time, you definitely will get to know as to where you are, what you are, how life is, what is the real meaning of life. You'll get to know all of that. Now, ma'am, you might have faced a lot of ups and downs in your career, or maybe during your college days, or once when you were aware about the realities of life. And then when you faced all the stress or the challenges, to put it right, how did you manage it, or how do you manage it till date, the stress and the challenge that you face?
Yeah, so as you rightly said, there are ups and downs in personal life, in professional life. Uh, I have gone through that phase where I was in denial of the problem or what is happening with me and things like that. But after some time passed by and I realized that, this is getting nowhere. I need to figure out things that work for me and I have to be in peace with the problem, or be in peace with the people that have not behaved the way I wanted, or that has not turned out to be, the situation has not turned out to be how I wanted it to be. I have realized that I have to accept that situation, and I have to make peace with the people, with the situation, with my life, with myself. I've realized that, and that really happened with me because I used to follow BK Shivani. I used to follow uh, Sri Ravi Shankara. Their teachings have really helped me. Uh, so when I started learning about Brahma Kumari, that's where I realized that we are always in that victim mode, where if something goes wrong with us, we are like, why this is happening with me? You know, eh, we like to be in that victim mode. But the spiritual knowledge that is taught in Brahma Kumaris has really helped me gain a good understanding of why things happen, or even if they happen, how to be okay with it, or how to basically uh, observe your thoughts, or the fact that you are responsible for your thoughts, your emotions, and hence your actions. So once you understand that fundamental, then you are in a position to deal with your own thoughts, your own emotions. You understand what is happening with you. And once you understand what is happening with you, you are able to deal with it really well. So that has really helped me a lot in terms of to deal with my own emotions, because I think whenever something happens with you, it's very important that you start to understand and deal with your own emotions, because at the end of the day, it's just you who is dealing with or responding to situations, responding to people in your life, So that worked. And then once that foundation was there, once that knowledge was there, then I have found out that what are my stressors, or what are my triggers. You are from that background. I think you understand that there are some triggers that you have, that if somebody says some word, or reminds you of something, then it's your trigger. And when you know that it is a trigger, then you are in a position to you know wait for a second and then react accordingly, things like that. So I have figured that out. Then what has helped me a lot is meditation, my sleep. I'm To be honest, I'm not that good with my sleep even now, but I know when I'm not in a good mood, it's because of my sleep. So I don't take any decisions on that day when I'm not well slept, or when I'm not in a good mood. That is, so I have understood what are my triggers, maybe what may have happened that is leading to my emotions or my mood swings, things like that. So meditation, sleep, then apart from that, there is something called as Nidra Yoga, then going on walks for 15-20 minutes. That really changes your mood. So I have developed these tools for myself that work for me. And using those tools, I'm able to manage my emotions, my mood. And then once you are in the right set of mind, then you can take any decisions, or you can do your normal work. That's how I've been able to manage my pressures, would be the right word, rather than stress. Yeah.
Yes, dear. And I thank you for opening up and sharing it so well. That's really very nice. As you mentioned, how to overcome the victim mode, because that's there. Even I've been in that phase where like I feel, oh, I'm okay being the victim. And like then I cry and then all of that. So, but then as you were sharing that, it is time that we overcome the victim mode, and we not focus on being like sad all the time. We have to emerge victorious. We have to concentrate on our thoughts. And of course, even I do have like sleep disturbance on certain days, and I'm not good. As you said, your decisions also, the decisions you take also, you take it at the right time, not when you had a bad day. I mean, you didn't get a good sleep. I
Agreed.
understand. I could resonate with many of the things that you were sharing. That's really very nice. Thank you for sharing. And it's quite bold of you and courageous of you to share that. such that others are enlightened. Now, see, you have even made me also share something from my side. And there are several people out there who may be facing the similar situations. You may have a sleepless night, or you may have a lot of difficulties, lots of ups and downs. So don't be in the victim mode. Just jump out of that and try to concentrate on the thoughts that you have and emerge out of that sad state and fly high in the sky. Be happy. No matter what you do, be in peace. That's the only thing. Now, my dear, I'd like to ask you, like, now see, you just inspired me. Just you shared that part of your journey, your transformational journey with regard to stress and challenges and all of that. You become a little inspiration to me now. I've learned something from you as to, you've mentioned yoga nidra, you've mentioned like connecting with Brahma Kumaris and with the right kind of people to overcome all the stress and challenge. Now, in your life, who do you consider to be a great inspiration or maybe a role model, if you could just put it in that way?
Who is my role model?
Yes, dear.
Yeah. To be honest, I have really not thought of like being like someone else, but I really like what these some of these spiritual leaders are doing, like B.K. Shivani or Sri Ravi Shankara, for that matter, or even some people who are doing good in terms of promoting Ayurveda. All those leaders, or even Rujita Rivekar. I really like the fact that they are able to use today's technology in a positive manner and impact people's lives. That is something that I really uh, like and appreciate. you know so if I hope that answers your question.
Yes, dear. Yes, dear. I get that. Ma'am. That's really nice. Thank you for sharing. Now, ma'am, like, are you all when you have free time, like, what is the way you try to de-stress? Like, I maybe watch a movie or go for a walk, or like, are you also interested in movies? If I could put that in the right way, like, if
Yeah,
yes.
I love movies. I used to watch like many movies when I was younger, but now I feel they are distractions. So I only watch movies, very few movies. Like recently, I watched Chandu Champion, which is based on Murlikan Petkasa's lives. He was the first Paralympic gold medalist who got first Olympic gold for India. So that was a very inspirational movie. So those kind of movies I watch, but otherwise I really avoid watching anything and everything on the OTT platforms, because that is a big distraction, and at least for me, because I think it really distracts you. Focus alag hi ho jata hai. You just forget what you're doing, and it's non-stop. No, it doesn't stop. So I try to be away from it as much as possible.
Yes,
But
dear.
I do watch some good movies.
Yes, dear. I get your point. At one point of time, all of us understand that the crap that is there in the movie industry, that is, it's all based on fiction and there's no reality in that. It never happens in real life. When you understand that, then you only focus on the reality. The producers who create, movies with regard to the real lives of the real heroes that are there out, who are the people who have gone through a lot of struggles, who have emerged victorious through all the
Correct.
hardships. That's really nice. I understand, because I'm also in that zone. I can resonate with you now, because earlier as a youngster, oh, I love this movie, I love that hero and this hero and so. But now it is like, oh my God, it doesn't make sense at all. Now watching a movie, as you mentioned, is just now one which you shared the name of that movie. It really makes sense to see someone rise up, to see someone
Correct.
overcome all the challenges and become an inspiring figure. So that's really
Correct.
nice. I think all the youngsters will understand this, what we are sharing now, at a later stage, like the real meaning of watching a movie and grasping what is there in that movie.
Correct.
That's really nice. Now, ma'am, you are into the publishing zone as well. Now, if you could share this beautiful journey, when did it begin? How did it begin? And how deep are you into this?
Yeah, so I think somewhere I used to love reading when I was a child, and then there was a break. And then when I stopped my job and started my own thing, uh, uh, people started approaching me. I was also helping my father promote his books. I was helping him with the technology and marketing side of things he because his books were really good, but they were not reaching the right audience, or there wasn't enough marketing, so I was helping him with that. And then through that I got connected to the books again, and that's when I thought that this is a good thing to do, because they say there is a lot of potential in writing. I mean, if you a book has a capacity to change a person's life, you know. And I read some of the stories, and I felt the same, and that's when I thought, this is a very good thing that I really like. I follow Ayurveda, so I really wanted to do something about Ayurveda. So if I am in a position to facilitate a book as a publisher, then why not? It's my little contribution to the subject, Even if I can't become a Ayurveda doctor now, given that I'm in a different profession, but I can always facilitate and give a platform to people who are doing that job, So that was the thought process. Then another example was, there is this book called Born Again in the Mountains by Arunima Sinha. She had lost one of her legs in a accident, in a train accident, and the other leg has a rod. And when she had that accident, she was very young. She had applied for her first job, and she was traveling to go for the interview, for that job. So that's when this accident occurred, and she lost both her legs. And when she lost her legs, instead of, like I said, being in the victim mode, she decided to climb Mount Everest. And after 3 or 4 years, she did climb Mount Everest. And she has the world record for it. She's the first person like that to climb Mount Everest. So that was a very inspiring story for me. And there was an incident that happened that I was in IBM then, and she had come to give a lecture in IBM. And I listened to her story, and she speaks really well. She speaks in Hindi. She's a motivational speaker. She speaks really well. And I was like totally inspired, in awe of her life and everything. And I called my dad, and I was telling him this has happened. And he told me, we have published her book in Marathi. I was like, oh my God, I didn't know. That's where it hit me that, even I don't know what we are doing. So it's time that I get back to what we are doing. And I felt, then I got that book, I read it, and I read it like in 5 or 6 hours. And obviously, it's a very inspirational story. That's where it started hitting me that the books have the books have the power to change people's life. So I felt that I should, if as a publisher I can facilitate that, then why not? That was the thought process, basically.
Yes, dear. Thank you so much for sharing the beautiful incident. Thank you so much. You shared the story as well. That's really nice. And how you became aware that books could have a wonderful impact, a life-changing impact on any individual who really is focused on reading it in the right way and picking up the right information that is there. That's wonderful. And your journey into the publishing field, hence, we get to understand that you are deep into it now. Yes,
Correct.
that's really nice. Now, ma'am, apart from the publishing field, like are you also, do you write short stories, novels, or do you accept short stories, novels from others to be published from your end? Is it something like?
We do. Yes, we do.
Yes, dear, that's really.
Subject is no bar. Okay, as long as there is something, there is some message, or there is something inspiring, or if we are promoting some good, for example, Ayurveda is a good science. It's a science. People don't know, but it's a science. It's known to Indians. It's our culture, but people don't know it. So if somebody is coming with that kind of a step, we are open for it. even for fiction. So recently we did a book which is a fiction, but it tells you self-help gyan through a fiction. So there is no constraint in terms of subject or in terms of category. It can be any category as long as it is adding some value and it is useful for readers. I think we are open to look at those scripts and see if it can become a book.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's really great. Very happy to know that. Like, I mean, like if someone would like to write their life story or maybe their autobiography or, biography or something like that, if they could approach you with your publishing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We are a traditional publishing house at the moment. So, yeah, we
Wow.
do accept scripts. Yeah.
Yes, dear. So I'd love the others like to take advantage of this and please come out if you have beautiful things to be published. And if you are looking out for a wonderful publisher, I think you can get connected with ma'am for the right reasons and go ahead, plan and bring out the best for the readers. Because as you mentioned, one book could transform somebody's life. If they read it, it really has a wonderful impact. Yes, dear. That's wonderful. I really like the way you put that. That's nice. Now, ma'am, in the recent days, like what has been the best article that you've ever read in just maybe this week? Like we are into the fourth day of the week, like maybe like what did you read that was so impactful?
Not this week, but in this month or the last month, because today is just fourth, right? Last month, I finished reading this book called Shivaji, founder of Maratha Swaraj. It's written by C.V. Vaidya. It's an English book, and I'm purposely quoting English book because most of your audience understands English. So he has this book was written in 1930s. Okay, and at that point, uh, to write such a rebellious book uh, to oppose the historians at that point and saying that Shivaji didn't do this for this reason, not caring about the so-called followers and putting facts, at that time was, I think, really rebellious. And the depth in which he has gone into is really great, So that is something I really enjoyed reading, because we always study the good side of the story or the very famous stories from Shivaji's life, but it has also given not so known stories, or the so-called very famous stories. Are they real? He has questioned that, and then he's given supporting documents from various historians and things like that. And then why he was uh, the why he's so famous and what was his character like and things like that, how he rode on the wave of forming a Hindu Swaraj. So, in a positive way, he has explained all that, but that is something I really enjoyed reading in the last month. And then there are Marathi things that I keep on reading because we have scripts, but yeah.
That's really nice. Thank you for sharing that, ma'am. That's really wonderful. And the way you've spoken about that beautiful book just now, it really speaks volumes of you being an avid reader and how beautifully you grasp the things, get to understand the importance of that era which was shared in that book and all of that. And when you speak, you take us into the book, deep into the book. Like it appears to me that I'm also reading the book with you. That's really nice.
I'm not such a, I'm not this, I'm not, I haven't read many books. I have just restarted on my journey. As a youngster, I read many books. And now that I'm into that profession, I'm lucky I get to read more. And that is also one way. Reading is like a meditation, you forget your
Very
worries
true.
that much time. So I really enjoy. I look forward to my reading sessions.
I really resonate on this with you. I really connect with you on this. Like if you want to de-stress yourself, pick up a book or pick up anything that you could read, and then
Correct.
that's it. Yeah, we can connect. Yes, and I spend most of my time like this, reading something or the other, and I don't give time to think something that is negative or not working in my favor or something, or brooding over anything. Read. That's really like meditation, as you mentioned. I accept that, and I'm happy that you shared that today. That's really nice. Now, dear, how would you define smart work and hard work? Like, there are several people who have different thoughts processes with regard to work. Say some of them say no, it's hard work. Some say it is smart work. So there is a debate on that. How would you like to share your thoughts?
Yeah, so see, the so-called hard work or smart work have very known definitions. So I wouldn't get into that, okay? But what I want to share is anything that I approach. See, I'm a very lazy person by default, okay? I mean, I'm being honest, but I'm very lazy. So even if I'm doing some recipe if I'm cooking for my daughter, I'll look at 5 recipes, figure out what is the most healthy and what is the quickest recipe, and then I will go do the job. Okay. So what that does is it saves my time. Okay. So you do some research, you figure out what is the healthiest, what is the quickest. So you save your time, you save your efforts, and you come up with a good dish also. So I approach all my work like that. So I don't, if somebody tells me you have to do that, I don't directly jump into that. I find out solutions that, what are the different options, then what can save my time, because I really don't like to uh, work or lose a lot of time into doing something, because I know that I have very limited time slots where I am very productive. So I'm very aware of my productivity times. It can be 1 hour, 2 hours. So I see to it that I can fit in that work into that much slot. So I have no other option. It's maybe my problem, but I don't have, I cannot work for longer hours at a stretch. I get bored, and I don't have that much energy beyond 1 hour or 2 hours. Then I have to take a break, do something light, things like that. So for me, it is always जो quick है वैसे बिठा लो. Okay. But then even in that, I see to it that I am doing justice to whatever I do. So if I'm reading a script and if I'm not happy the way it is, I will leave it. I'll do it tomorrow. But when I do, I'll see to it that I go deep and do what is required uh, to uh, to do that job. So I don't compromise on the quality or the depth in which you have to go. So then if it takes 4 hours, then it's 4 days, 1 hour each day. Okay. So it's a little different for me. I hope you got my answer.
Yes, dear, I understand. I understand. And I was trying to relate even, my work process, the way I do things. As you mentioned, I'm a bit lazy with regard to cooking and all of that. Somehow I could like connect myself also with you. That's really nice. Thank you for sharing. Like, you make me also feel one with you when you share all of that. And even as you said, like, maybe I can't do it now, maybe I do it later. But when I do it later, I do it with my whole and soul. I give my complete attention to it. And I take my
Correct.
time to go into the quality, to
Correct.
understand, the most important things, aspects of it, and, be very genuine with it, just not to fake it and read it and then say it's okay.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
so I can understand that. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. That's wonderful. Now, dear, with regard to best friends in life, we all have best friends. Some of us don't have. To us, all our friends. To me personally, if you ask, all are my best friends. I have no one very close like whom I could just say that he or she is my best friend. For me, friendship is equal with every. You treat me well, I treat you in the same way. You treat me bad, and then I cut you off. As simple as that. Now, how does friendship work for you?
Yeah, when I was younger, I didn't have the knowledge of the fact that, you don't have to really give your energy and attention to things that distract you, or there might be things that you don't like, but you just do it for the sake of, you just put up the show for the sake of, because you are already saying that somebody is your friend and things like that. But now it's more like work relationships, cordial relationships, and things like that. So of course there are friends, and you have good relations with people when you're cordial and when you respect people and talk to them. So relationships develop like that, not just a friendship. I mean, you can have somebody in your family with whom you're like friends, you open up and things like that. So I don't want to really constrain that and call it a friend, but any relationship, I think, develops naturally. And if that is, I mean, if that friend, or if that, even if there is a close relative, if that is not working out for some reason, then you find your ways to maintain a cordial relation and focus on your thing, because you have a bigger purpose in life. Why waste your time? So I am out of that zone where you have to have friends for uh, for survival. You're going in college तो आपके friends होने चाहिए, or you are at work तो आपके friends होने चाहिए. You can still have good cordial relationships, and people start to respect you, for your work and for how you are. They maybe initially they misunderstand, but later on they realize that, okay, she's focused on her thing and she's okay. She just doesn't want to be as friendly, because at after a point in your life, you have your priorities, and you have a bigger goal in your life towards which you want to work, and you really have limited time. There's so much to do. You can't really go out at all the parties, at all the you can't have all those obligations. Now you have to be, so I'm not in that zone anymore. So I do have friends which are from college life, or that I have developed in my professional life. But yeah, I mean, I'm out of that zone now where you have to have friends for survival or things like that. But yes, I do understand that you have to have cordial, respectful relations with people, because you have to survive and you must follow those norms. You do not have to cross boundaries, because the other person is a human being and he can be going through things, and that's why he behaves a certain way. So I don't really take things very personally anymore in any kind of relationship, be it a friend, be it anything, basically, in personal life and professional life.
Yes, dear. Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing. Thank you very much. You've given us a wonderful insight with regard to friendship. That's really nice. Now, dear, we'll talk about financial freedom, both for men and women. It's very essential. And especially, like if you are a couple, or if you are parents, or if you are an adult, I mean, in playing either of the roles as a sibling, or maybe as a spouse, as a parent, to put it right, we all have to have our own financial independence than being dependent on anyone. Because we've seen sadly that several parents have contributed all their earnings to bring up their children, educate them in the right way, and everything. And towards the end, many of them are abandoned in the old age homes or public spaces. Or we could see like many of the couples, like, being dependent on each other for financial help, or financial assistance. Now, according to you, what do you think? Should one have their own, manage their own finances rather than be undergo financial abuse?
Mhm. Yeah, of course, one should be financially independent, be it a man or a woman, because you don't want to be a burden on anybody. Okay, neither your kids, nor your parents, or your spouse. Uh, Being financially free also sets you free mentally,
Very
you
true.
know. Yeah. Otherwise, it's you are somewhere deep down, all your decisions are driven by the fact that you are dependent on that person and you have to please them and things like that. So, and being financially dependent on any of the relative or any friend or anybody for that matter can really turn out to be very bad, and can be very traumatizing, especially towards the later stage of your life, where you really want to be at peace with yourself and live the rest of your life calmly. I'm not talking about rich life or happy life, but you should have some amount of peace where you're having your food, good house to stay and things like that. But that basic piece is very important, I think. So, I mean, we should, I mean, and especially for ladies in India or countries like ours where the the society is male dominated, it's all the more important because we are the people around us are grown up in that environment where they feel that this is right, where it is not. To assume that a person is financially dependent on you and hence you can take decisions for her or him, that just leads to trauma in people's life. I've seen many such cases around me, and I don't really like that.
I should really applaud you. You've shared it so well. I was just listening to you very patiently. You've really done a wonderful job. The way you explained that, it was really, really very interesting and very inspirational. Like all of us should know at one point of time, you should be able to take your own financial decisions, your decisions in life. As you've mentioned, if you're not financially independent, all your decisions depend on the person you are depending on for financial assistance, how he or she asks you to behave. It's like that. So you've really put it so well, and it really made me start thinking like our decisions are impacted or affected by the people on whom we are dependent for any financial assistance. Like, I mean, especially within the family, or you never know, so many wrong decisions are taken with regard to their lives because of their financial dependence on somebody else. Thank you so much. And it's a big message for all the people out there, irrespective of gender. Try to be financially independent as early as possible. Save up something for yourself to live in peace. As you said, no, not a lavish lifestyle, at least a dignified lifestyle of good food, a shelter, and good clothes. Like, at least the minimum basics to have in our life. That's really nice, ma'am. Now, dear, what is the message that you'd love to contribute today on the Fab Talks for all of us? What is it that you'd like to share, Dwitiya, ma'am?
Yeah. So I don't think I'm in a position to tell people some message, but rather I would put it this way that uh, having gone through ups and downs and fallen so many times, I have realized that in in my early life, I wasted a lot of time on things that were really not necessary. And now I feel I have very less time left to do things that I want to do in my life. So, and when you are young, your age is with you, your body works in tandem with your thoughts. Then also the energy, enthusiasm with you. That's when is the right time to do things, work on your goals and achieve. Because later in life, even if you want to work, your body may not allow, or you may not have the energy due to different illnesses and things like that, or your situations in life. So I think we should not waste time when you're young. That is something that I have learned the hard way in my life. So if that helps anybody,
Yes.
it'll be.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for sharing that. It's an eye-opener for all the youngsters out there. And thank you for being bold enough to share it so nicely. And what I feel is you're also not only a great person connected with publishing and the IT sector and all of that, you're a wonderful speaker as well. You motivate, people with your talk. Like when you share, you begin to share a lot of wisdom. Through experience, we gain a lot of wisdom, and you share that in the right way. You enlighten us in the right way. So you're a wonderful speaker as well. Hats off to you for that. Yes, dear. That's really nice, ma'am. Now, dear, I'd like to know this, like, have you ever found yourself getting angry when you view some type of injustice at, maybe in the society, when you're going out, when you've seen something like that or heard something of a government official taking bribery or like some type of just injustice that's going on,
Yeah.
some unfair things? Yes, dear.
I used to get angry when I was younger. Post the Brahma Kumari episode in my life, it's very sorted. I'm like, you cannot change the other people. You cannot change you cannot change people's perception, or you cannot change the society. The only person you can change is yourself. Okay. So the only contribution that I can do is from my side, what can I do? And I try to focus on that. So I don't really put my energy into anger. It doesn't anger me anymore, because once you understand now that you cannot change others, then once you understand anything, then you don't put effort into that, no? Because it is not going to happen. Even if I get angry so much, it is not going to help anyone, right? I'm only going to get angry and like feel bad about it, right? So that I have understood. So I don't get angry anymore. But what the way I see it. So right now I'm reading Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar's books. Okay. So I recently read one of his chapters from there's a book called Annihilation of Caste, written by Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar, and it is translated into Marathi. And in that book, there is a small article written by this author, this famous English author. I'm forgetting her name, Arundhati Roy. She has written an essay which is related to that book. Okay, in that she is sharing the facts around how the untouchables are still treated badly all over the world, not just in India. Okay, so that when I read that, I was like, I didn't even know this, because I'm not untouchable, so I don't know what they go through, and we have been judging them. They have the quota and things like that. We don't know their side of the story. So when I read that, I really felt bad. Okay, I felt sad, but then I can't get entangled into those thoughts, right? So what I can do is, if some similar script comes to me, through that I can make my small contribution. Things like that. Or I can read more, make myself more aware about it and things like that. So that's my point of view right now. Because there's no point in getting angry. And I don't actually, once you understand that fundamental now, that you cannot change others, then you don't get angry, because you cannot, right? So
Yes, dear. Another pearl of wisdom here. Thank you.
no,
Thank
nothing
you.
like that.
No, because I learned something, because I am a short-tempered person. I get angry very quickly.
Even I get angry, but I get angry on daily things,
Yes.
irritating things. There are irritating things in my life also, on daily this thing. But then at that point, I'm angry, but I understand this is my irritation, and then I stop. Beyond a point, I know that this is irritation, because we're not saints, we're human beings. We get angry, and it's okay. It's all of us are work in progress, right? We can't be perfect. So I've
Work
made
in
peace with it.
progress. I like that term, work in progress. Beautiful. That's really nice. Like, you've really, really done justice, ma'am, to the platform. You've shared it so well. And, there's so many other questions still I'd like to pose and ask you, several questions, because I love the answers that you're giving. I mean, they're very thought-provoking, the way you really share. It's really amazing. To me personally, and I'm sure to the others who view this video, they will really agree with me that the way you share, the way you put your thoughts across, that in anger, if you're angry also, you cannot change anything. You just have to understand the situation and move. Now I'm going to use this technique now. I'm not going to be like angry with anything. I just, oh yeah, you're like that. I understand, and I just move. Then to waste our energy or time on, something that doesn't require your attention and your energy. Yes, dear. Now, ma'am, among all the achievements till date, like which one makes you feel the proudest, the IT sector, or being connected as a publisher, or like a reader? Like you are into all of this. So what makes you proud? If you think back, sit and think back, like, oh, what is it that I feel really great about?
Yeah, IT is good. I enjoy being a programmer, understanding the technology and everything. That is good. But to be able to bring an impact to readers' life, And so, see, I'm not a writer, okay, but I am able to give a platform to people who write and then connect those writings to readers is something that really makes me happy. Okay, that really motivates me, to be honest. Okay, and that is something that I've started doing right now. So I don't think I have like accomplished um, so much, but I really enjoy doing what I do here. And I also like reading, so that really works for me. So that's what it is right now.
That's really nice. That's really nice. Now, ma'am, when anybody would like to connect with you, when you mention scripts, like, do you want them to give in a handwritten one, like you mean to say, or should they type out the stuff and give it to you for
I think
permission?
it's fine because there are people who are not comfortable writing on a laptop or things like that. So there are some scripts that come to us which are like handwritten, or there are some scripts which people write on their laptops directly and send it across to us. That is also fine
That's
because we have people who do the typing in or the proofreading, editing, stuff like that.
yes, dear. That's really nice. Thank you for sharing, ma'am. Now, how many languages are you conversant in? I know you're good at English. Your English is superb. Hindi भी आती है आपको और मराठी भी. इसके अलावा
English, Hindi, Marathi. I want to learn Sanskrit. I hope I do that someday. So I just know 3 languages right now.
yes. Now, ma'am, एक दिन हम इस धरती पर नहीं रहेंगे. We all will leave this earth one fine day. Like when you are no more, how would you want people to remember Jayashree, ma'am?
Yeah, like I said earlier, more than people remembering me, I mean, me putting my energy into that. When I die, I want to really live peacefully, that I did something right, you know. So whatever days I was here, I did something positive for somebody. That is something, even if it is through books. If I am able to bring a little bit of change, I think that will really make me happy. So I'm more keen on that. I'm being selfish here, but I'm more keen on that. Okay, no
Okay. Now,
problem.
what is that one thing that you love about Dwitiya?
The fact that I can forget things quickly and move on. I mean, that is something I'm very thankful that I have. Comes naturally to me. I forget things. I don't like to hold a grudge, and so yeah, if the person or the situation keeps on troubling me again and again, then I might get irritated, but I won't be like a enemy or something. I'll be like, okay, forget it. Let's move.
Yes, that's really nice. A great message again here for all of us. Just move. That's really nice not to be stuck over there. Now, ma'am, one last question, one major one with regard to mental health. Like, how should we take this forward? Each of us have our own struggles with regard to our thought pattern, with regard to the way other people treat us, and all of that. So, in India, focusing on mental health has not been reaching,
Correct.
the required amount of the required height or maybe the required attention. We are slowly coming out of our shell now, accepting that mental health has become something very important. Now, what do you have to share as a great reader, as a publisher, as a person filled with lots of experiences, in various in your
Yeah.
professional space, etc.
Yeah. I would like to talk about women and mental health because um, ladies have periods that puts them into that mood swings. They're born with mood swings because of the periods and because of the hormones and things like that. And our society is male dominated society. The situations in our life, uh, plus uh, some ladies in India, even in middle class, are not well nourished, uh, not intentionally, or sometimes people have the money. It's a good family, but they don't have the awareness that the nutrition and things, iron, how that is important, that awareness is not there. And because of all of these things, or because of the combination of all these things, male dominated society, dependence on the family members, not being financially independent, not having the knowledge of or importance of nutrition for women health, and they going through period every month and losing blood, that leading to anemia. This can become a very vicious cycle and take them into depression. And on top of that, people don't know what depression is. They think, or ladies especially think, that this is just normal mood swings. And they don't even know that they're going through depression, and not being able to realize that, and hence not treating that. And uh, then that becomes worse. Then it becomes too much, to handle. Or you've suffered a lot during that time when you're not aware of what's happening with you. That can be a very bad thing happening to any woman. So I think it's important that women should take care of themselves, understand these things, read about, educate themselves, because like I said, there's no point in being dependent or being in victim mode. Rather than that, just study yourself, understand what are your needs, and take care of your own self. It is very important, I feel, because being mentally ill can be a very bad state to be in. I mean, and it is curable. So I think we should not let that happen to us.
Yes, dear. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing that. Thank you very much. As you focused on women undergoing, their monthly periods and how they suffer from depression with regard to their, nutrition. You've mentioned that, many of them suffer from anemia. Yeah, I would like to recollect a certain set of people who I've met who have been under these, where even if you can afford the food, they are not even given that right kind of food, maybe because first all the family members have their food and then but yes.
Okay, sure.
Now, ma'am, towards the end of the session, we'd like to request you to share 3 empowering words with us, apart from please, sorry, and thank you. We always put in a little request to all our celebrities and guests to gift us 3 magical words, apart from please, sorry, and thank you. Over to you, dear.
Love, peace, blessings.
Wow, great. Love, peace, and blessings. That's really nice, ma'am. Thank you so much. We feel really blessed and honored to have had you here today. Thank you for sharing the space. Thank you for sharing love. Thank you for sharing peace. Because you mentioned, like, if you cannot change anybody, please understand that it's okay that they are like that. You move forward. Don't be in the victim mode. And so many other important things were shared. Thank you so much, ma'am. Looking forward to the next session very soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, dear. My dear friends, with this, we come to an end to the International Fab Talks for today. If you like what we are doing, stay connected with us. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And above all, don't forget to love yourself. Love yourself and try to understand that if you're disrespected in any place more than once, it's time that you understand that you are important and try to find the right place for you to live in peace. Spread peace, spread joy, and spread happiness. With this, we'd like to sign off from the International Fab Talks for today. Stay blessed. Thank you, dear.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.